All right, here we go. Party animals, welcome back to the Reyes Reflection podcast. Sharing is caring, so go up to one person and tell them to follow the Reyes Reflection. And make sure you follow me on the socials at I'm Nathanael Reyes. Plugging in the partners real quick: Jocko Fuel, clean fuel without compromise. Mad Rabbit, Tattoo Aftercare, be bold, be you. Make sure you use that promo code Reyes Reflection at checkout. And Arave cards, completing sets one card at a time. Head over to the eBay, Facebook, and whatnot to get yourself started on your Pokemon card collection today. Introduction time for my next guest. Let me start by saying this. If I'm ever in a street fight where I'm undermanned, I want this person by my side. And the reason why I say that is because she just went 3-on-1 on The Voice, which we will definitely talk about. She could also be Taylor Swift's doppelganger. I don't know if she's ever been told that. But without further ado, the wonderful Zoe Levert. Welcome to the pod.
Hey, how are you? I'm so excited to be here.
Not too shabby. Thank you so much for doing this. So we'll definitely unpack The Voice. But before we do, let me get to learn a little bit more about who Zoe is. So you're living in NOLA right now, but you moved like 5-6 times, I think I saw. What was that like for you? What were some of the challenges that you went through?
Yeah, so I'm a PK, pastor's kid. Very proud of that. And so my parents were always super involved in ministry, which I'm sure a lot of pastors' kids can relate to. Sometimes causes you to move around a lot, just to bounce around to different churches. And that definitely has challenges. I mean, a new school every 3 years, like that's really difficult growing up. But I think the biggest positive to ever come out of that is my relationship with my sisters. We're all 2 years apart. I'm the middle. We're all so close. And I think a big part of that is like we had to embrace all of these changes together. And I think it just like bonded us. And so it's a lot, but I'm really grateful for how it was all handled.
I'm a middle child as well, right there with you.
Love that.
Us middle kids, we got to stick together.
For sure.
What do you know about Louisiana folklore?
Yeah, I mean, Louisiana is its own entity, and I am super proud to represent Louisiana culture. It's just a mixture of so much history, and I'm still learning a lot about the history. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I spent a good chunk of my childhood in New Orleans, and so I definitely claim New Orleans as a part of me. But there's still so much to learn. But I mean, I learned to love music here. There's a deep history with jazz music here, and um, I go to Mardi Gras every single year, and so I love it. Great food. Like I'm doing a crawfish boil in a couple days. Like, what's not to love?
So I just learned about crawfish. It's like the little lobsters, right? They're not lobsters, but you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you mean. Yeah, as
Okay.
long as you don't say crayfish, we're good. We're good.
I'm from New England, so forgive me. Because you boil them and then they turn red, right?
Yeah, it's a fair comparison. Like I'm following.
Okay, I appreciate that. I appreciate I'm not outcasted for saying that. But I interviewed someone who was on the show Is It Cake 2, and she was from Louisiana, and she said that they have like mud pits where they go ahead and that's how they get these crawfish. It's kind of crazy. She's like, no, it's its own world down there. So a person like myself who's never been down there, why should I go ahead and visit Louisiana?
That's a great question. I mean, every part of Louisiana is different, and so there's so much to learn. Like, there's really Cajun areas, and then there's really like just basic Southern, areas. And New Orleans is a good mixture of everything. You definitely have that city vibe, but also that Southern charm as well. And so, I mean, number one, I think Southern charm is real. And so, as someone who's lived up north and lived south, like starting a conversation with a random cashier because you recognize the sweater that they're wearing and it goes on for 20 minutes, like that's very normal. And I've really only experienced that in the South. And so the people are amazing. The food obviously is so special and so unique. And, everyone learns like how to make these. I haven't learned how to do crawfish by myself yet, but I've been a part of crawfish boils since I was like 10 years old. And so the food, the people, the culture, everyone should experience Mardi Gras once in their life. Like it's amazing. It's such a party. And I go with my family every year. It's so funny. My parents met my now husband at a Mardi Gras parade. That's where we introduced all of them, which is so Louisiana of me. But there's just so much to love and so much to learn.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. I'll have to go down there. I love a good party, so I'll have to go down there for Mardi Gras.
For sure.
We'll transition into The Voice now. You arguably had one of the most lovely moments on TV history. You also had John Legend, who hit at the buzzer. It was really at the buzzer, or was that just for TV?
No, it was like the last line of the song. That was real.
I got worried because I was watching and I go, oh man, she's not going to get on. Was that thought ever in your head?
Oh yeah, the whole song. I was like, I've talked to other contestants about their blind audition, and they talk about how they just kind of blacked out and they don't remember any of it. Not me. I remember every moment, and I remember just staring them down like, someone turn around, please turn around. I do remember thinking consciously, I'm at the last line of the song. I've already done all the big notes. We're out of tricks, okay?
You pulled all the party tricks out, yes.
Like, we're done. I'm at the last line of the song. I consciously remember thinking, you're at the end, do something cool. So I added this little minuscule riff in there, and kind of like slowed down the ending and like really milked it. Like, give him as many seconds as it takes. And he finally turned around at the last second. I remember jumping up and down, feeling just so like relieved and so like just proud of myself, because it's like one of my lifelong dreams. I just accomplished that. It was crazy.
And you also had Dan and Shay serenading you with, you just mentioned at the time, your fiance, but now your husband, to your first dance song. Talk about that moment. What was it like being serenaded and them singing to you both?
Yeah, I mean, so going into this, I knew that I wanted to tell Dan and Shay how much their music means to me, how big fans I am. Like, I knew going into it, like, okay, I'm going to say this, because you got to think about, whether you get a chair turn or not, you're going to have to talk. And so got to be prepared. Yeah. And so I just kind of assumed they'd be like, thank you so much and good luck with the wedding. And then I hear Dan say, does anyone have a guitar? And I was just like, what is about to happen? And they came on stage. They invited my fiance at the time up there, and he's an even bigger fan than I am. He introduced me to Dan and Shay, so he's like a deer in headlights. Like, he's just like, hi, I'm Ryan. And then, I'm glad that they kind of talked us through it, and they were like, we're going to sing your first dance song now. And I'm like, okay. And it was so sweet. And that moment was already so special because I had gotten the chair turn. I got on The Voice. And then on top of that, like, they made it so personal and so special about my life. And I'll never forget it. I'm like, it was just amazing. Like, it was so sweet.
I feel like they did that a lot this season. I saw a lot of moments where they said, hey, bring up your daughter or tell me this. And I love how they just made it more personable, because now that's a lifelong memory that you and your husband can share with your future kids. It's going to be on national television for the rest of our lives.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, that's awesome. So for the people who don't know why in the intro, why I brought up that I would bring Zoe to a street fight if I was ever outnumbered, is because during the battle rounds, she competed against OK3, had them on the show. They're all fantastic. You ended up winning. What was it like to sing alongside and get tips from John Legend? And I hope I'm not offending you by asking you, but was there ever moments of doubt? Because essentially you're singing against three artists against yourself. And I know you're confident in who you are as an artist, but is there just ever moments of self-doubt? I just want to hear about that moment and what's going on in Zoe's head.
Yeah, I mean, when I found out I was battling the trio, I was incredibly nervous. Like, full transparency, I'm going up against three super talented girls who are building chords with their voices. Like, I can't do that, just me. And so I was nervous from the beginning. But there was this distinct moment in our rehearsal with John that just kind of gave me all the confidence that I needed. Obviously, OK3 we're all friends. It was great to work with them. That was like never an issue. It was just like girl time all the time. I absolutely loved it. I remember we were in our rehearsal with John, and I think he could tell I was nervous. I mean, rightfully so. This whole thing is like so new. I've never been on TV before, and just all of it is really scary. And I remember him saying to me, they kind of aired part of this, but he talked for a lot longer. He talked about how I don't need to try to overpower them. And he just looked at me and he was like, just be yourself and sing like yourself and you'll be fine. And to hear that from anyone, but especially from John Legend, just gave me that confidence that I needed. Because I do think there's this pressure to be louder and add all these crazy vocal acrobatics and all that. And John just was like, sing how you normally sing. Like, that's what people want to hear, and that's why you're here. And so I did that, and clearly it worked out. And so, yeah, John was a big part of that, though.
I love that because it's true. Even just think about it in a different scale. I know I'm joking about a street fight, but if you're playing a basketball game against three people, you're going to play differently. You're going to try to overcompensate.
Yeah.
I think it's like human nature. For us, we're clearly outnumbered here. Let me try to do something that maybe I'm not confident in. But I love that John centered you back down and was like, Zoe, stay in your lane. You can do this. Believe in yourself. And I think that it showed on your performance because I'm not sure which, I don't want to be misquoted, so I'm not sure which coach said this, but they said you look like you were the leader of the group. You look like you stood out. So I think that you did an excellent job. Again, OK3, they're fantastic girls. Sad to see them go. Happy to see you move on. What's the biggest takeaway so far that you are going to help propel you and continue while you're on the show?
Yeah, I love that question. I mean, from the get-go, John saw something in me, and at the blind auditions, he was the only coach that turned. And so from the beginning, John has seen something in me, and John has believed in me, and that in itself is a huge confidence boost, and it makes me feel reassured, and like I can do this. And because if you want anyone to believe in you, it's John Legend. And so but he continues to affirm, just be yourself. You're good enough to be here. And he talks about the specific things I do with my voice, things I've never thought about before, and just really affirms that. He never tries to make me go for any extra high notes or add in anything crazy, because it's just not who I am as a vocalist. And so as we're preparing for knockouts and everything, I'm so glad that I ended up on his team. And I think, people will see that in the next episode as well.
Awesome. I can't wait. You have a fan in life from me. Let's end with some Taylor Swift trivia and some burning questions while we wrap up.
I love it. Bring it on.
I'll try to do some easy ones, okay?
Okay.
Who is she currently dating right now?
Oh, Travis Kelce.
Yes. And it's so funny how she has almost catapulted him as a star, I guess you could say. He, don't get me wrong, Hall of Fame tight end. But I think his personality and who he is as a person is now being elevated.
For sure, because I've never cared about football more in my life. So good for her. Good for them.
That's right. It's worked. Okay. What is the name of the boy she is singing about in the song Teardrops on My Guitar?
Drew.
Good job. Okay.
First line is like, Drew looks at me or something.
Yes, it is. Okay.
Think about it.
Yes. And do you find that you're singing the lyric in your head?
For sure.
Yes. What color eyes does Taylor Swift mention in the song Sparks Fly?
Oh, goodness. That's very, I feel like that's niche. Is that not niche? Wait, let me think.
I think you got this. Hit me with those.
Is it bad that that's not a song that I listen to very often?
The answer is green.
Okay.
Yes.
I was like either green or blue, but disappointed in myself.
That's okay. When is Taylor's birthday?
Oh my goodness. I think it's in December.
It is. Wow, you're good. Oh, I will give you that. And what's her lucky number?
13. Is it December 13th? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Team effort.
Wow, you are really good. I didn't expect that, but the fact that you said I think it's in December, that was pretty good. Good for you. All right, awesome. John and Dan both commented on your height. How tall are you actually?
I'm 5'10".
Oh, so you are pretty tall. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I think John said you and your husband are gonna have big babies. Because I think even Dan was like, I'm 6'2", and I feel like I'm short here.
Yeah. I get the height thing a lot.
Yeah.
So.
So you really could be Taylor Swift's doppelganger. You never know. They might need you in a standstill for a movie. You never know. You never know.
Hey, I'm available if y'all need me. It's so funny. I've never been compared to her by looks before until coming on the show, but I'm like, I'll take it. Like, she's gorgeous. Like, y'all can keep calling me Taylor Swift.
You're like, I mean, I've never heard it, but I mean, if you want to keep saying it, I'm fine with that. Yeah.
I'm not mad about it.
No, I wouldn't be either. Yeah, no, I wouldn't be. All right. Chat pack time. I'm going to pull out a random question from this little kid chat pack thing, and we'll see what the chat pack fate. All right, here we go. If you could bring to life any fictional character from a book or movie or TV show, who would you choose?
That's such a good question.
That is a good question.
It was book or movie
Or
as well?
or TV show, yep.
I mean, I love all of the Disney princess movies. Still as an adult, absolutely love them. So I think I would want to hang out with Ariel. I mean, she's my favorite Disney princess, and I think we'd get along. I think we'd vibe.
I think you would. Live action Elsa? Well, you never know. Look at you.
Hey, I can sing Let It Go. Like, don't tempt me.
You didn't say it. I did. Maybe when you get off the show. All right, one more question. All right, ready? Here we go. I added it here. I don't know if you can see. If a dog wore pants, would he wear them like this or like that?
This is the most fun interview I've ever done.
Thank you. I pride myself on that.
I'm loving this. I think it would be the second one.
Yes.
Only because I pictured like the front legs as the arms. You know what I mean? Like it's giving arms. So
that's my take on it. When they eat their bone, they're using those two front paws as hands.
Exactly. Yes. See, we're vibing.
I love it. Plug in your socials. Where can people find you, listen to you, follow Zoe on her journey?
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, Zoe Levert on all platforms, but it's Zoe with 2 E's. That's not how you actually spell my name, but that's what it is on social media. And that's all I'm really doing right now. Hopefully, after all this is all over, I'll be releasing music very soon. And so just keep an eye out and let's be friends on social media.
Let's do it. Zoe, thank you so much for taking time out of your day, joining me on the pod. You're now sworn in as a friend of the show forever. I just did my little sworn in.
Thank you.
Of course, that is going to do it for this episode of the Reyes Reflection Podcast. Follow me on the show. Share the show. Follow me on those socials at I'm Nathanael Reyes. Check out our wonderful sponsors, Arave Cards, Jocko Fuel, Mad Rabbit. And as always, may you live, may you love, and may you thrive. I'm Oprah, and I love you all.